Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Standout Podcast. My name is Adam, and today I am doing this episode solo because this is not an official episode. This is just going to be an outline of the Standout Podcast goals and desires for 2023. So, let's get on with that. Our goals for this year are a little ambitious, but we feel like we can make this happen. Our goals are to hit 100 subscribers, average out at about 1,000 monthly listeners, and then diversify our types of media output. Now, that would be like other podcasting platforms such as Spotify or Google Podcasts or whatever. We will not confirm or deny if we are returning to those, but the options are being considered. Now, one way you can help us with meeting our goals for 100 subscribers and 1,000 monthly listeners is by sharing that with your friends and subscribing if you are not already. Doing so helps out the YouTube algorithm, and it also helps give us a gauge as to how many people we have listening. Now, the mission for this podcast, or the intent behind the podcast, is to encourage people and to produce helpful, informative, and edifying content. We want this to be something that is worth your time to listen to, and we want this to be helpful in your growth in the faith. Speaking about our content, I would like to say that I am personally going to back off on how much I am talking during the episodes. I've noticed while editing the episodes that I'm doing a lot of the talking, and I want Landon, Summer, and any other people that we bring on to have a little more in the discussion. So we're not going to stop with our biblical discussion trend, but we're going to try to bring it to a point where Landon and Summer are doing more talking. That way they aren't just agreeing to a monologue from me. Now, our target audience is Christian teens and young Christian adults. Now, I say this, but we want our words to be relevant for any Christian who is listening. Our target audience specifically, though, is young Christians. Now, we would also encourage you, if you have non-Christian friends who would be interested in or would benefit from this podcast, then we would encourage you to share some of these episodes with them, and perhaps that would be enough to bring them to Christ, to get them to submit to God's authority. Now, last thing, we are working on a couple of related projects for the podcast. In their current state, I cannot say anything more than that, but we are hoping to bring them out in the next couple of months. So stay tuned for anything we have to say about those. I think there's a lot of potential for what we have planned. All right, folks, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a happy new year and that everything is going well for you. Again, this podcast is meant to encourage people, and we want to put to practice what Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. We want to be able to do that for you guys here. Stay tuned with this podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. We would really appreciate that. You guys have a happy new year. Adios.